Very often during his campaign for mayor last year, now Mayor Adams regularly said New York City government is dysfunctional. As he begins his new term, he has also said the same. New York City government is currently dysfunctional in many ways. We have a sad example of the situation on Lower Broadway, north of Morris Street. New York City DOT recently allowed a very large 50-unit bike rack to be placed right on Broadway, just north of Morris Street. In placing that bike rack there, what they did is eliminate the one parking lane at that location. The result is that we have created a chaotic situation on Lower Broadway between Wall Street and Morris Street. The reason is that vehicles, cars, vans, and trucks are still parking right beside the bike lane. By parking beside the bike lane, they are parking in the one traffic lane that exists on Broadway at that section. And what is also happening is, since vehicles are parking there, others looking to park are continuing to park in that lane, even north of the bike lane, so that the problem now exists all the way between Morris Street and Wall Street. North of the bike lane, there is a parking lane. There's one parking lane, but now it's been turned into two parking lanes. As illegal as it is, as illogical as it is, as dangerous as it is, cars, vans, and trucks are doing what they never did before this bike rack was installed, is they are clearly parking in a traffic lane. This problem never existed at this section until this bike rack was recently installed. I have informed the New York City DOT Manhattan Commissioner, Edward Pinkar, a holdover from the de Blasio administration, that this problem exists and that bike rack makes no sense there and should be removed. The response from him and his staff is, there is no problem. Of course there is a problem. There's a big problem, as this video clearly shows. There was no proper research done. There was no report issued. The local community was not told. Most of all, the building owners and managers along the section of Broadway were not asked, and eliminating up to 20 parking places on Lower Broadway for deliveries and other uses would be a problem. Because if they had asked, if they had done a report, if they had done an investigation, there is no way they would have placed this bike rack where it now stands. Making the situation even worse, this large, very large bike rack is rarely used. I check every day. At most, 2 or 3 of those 50 bikes are taken. It has no place there. There's a very large bike rack within sight of that location on Bowling Green Plaza. I'm being forced to make this video because so far, Commissioner Edward Pinkar is refusing to do anything about it because he continues to claim there is no problem when there is a problem. It's time to remove that bike rack and allow this one clear traffic lane to be what it needs to be, which is a traffic lane. Right now, the only way during the day, especially during the week, to come down Broadway, south of Wall Street, is to use so-called bus lane. There are even times when delivery trucks, vans, or car service vehicles are also parked in the so-called bus lanes, making the trip down Broadway, south of Wall Street, for vehicles an obstacle course. That's not acceptable. It makes no sense. Please remove that misplaced bike rack right away.